And welcome in to episode number 4 of the Creatively Connected podcast. I'm your host, Chris Rippey, and we're here with a very special, talented artist, photographer, graphic designer, creative person, Devin Grimes, ladies and gentlemen. We got him in studio right now. Devin, I appreciate you joining us today. He's the founder of DPG Digital.
The Digital Memories.
Digital Memories,
yeah,
sorry.
Digital Memories.
Goes by both, does businesses both.
Go by both.
Founder of that. He has credits from Forbes, ESPN, LahGriddy, which is one of my favorite dance moves right now. If you've watched any of my content, you definitely see me hitting the griddy. It's not very good, but I hit it and I attempt at it. So anyways, he is the manager of LahGriddy, and he has worked with a lot of very talented individuals and clients, and we're happy to have him in the studio for episode 4. So Devin, just go ahead and introduce yourself. Give us a brief rundown on what it is you do, and I'll let you have
First
the floor.
off, I'm happy to be here, bro. It means a lot for you to even want me on this podcast. From Nashville, Tennessee, went to MTSU for college, got my journalism degree, and from there we went on to work with the Titans, do a little bit of freelance with them, and then we went on to Florida A&M and did some work with them, but really from the ground up, just kind of overall view of just grinding is all it has been. It's just grinding and just staying true to who I am. And here we are, still in Nashville, still making it work and still building those high clienteles.
Gotcha. That's what it's all about, is continuously building the clientele, because you can work with extremely talented people. I did an episode on this yesterday. You can work with someone super talented, but it's how you follow up with that, because that becomes just a distant memory as time goes on. So it's good to have those accolades and clients, but always continue to keep that momentum. So, well, cool, man. I'm happy to have you on here. I feel like, we met one time previously to this.
No, that was crazy how we met, though.
I'll let you tell it. How did we?
That was pretty crazy. I mean, both at a gig, of course, like we just said, hustling and grinding. And we, shook up as far as creators do when you see somebody else with a camera.
Both had our camera out there.
Yeah, when you see somebody with a camera. So, and I think we mentioned, I told you like kind of the work that I did and something like that. And then you were like, I just talked to somebody that said they knew the guy who does all the film for the creator, the Gritty. And I was like, I think I'm that guy.
No, literally.
That was pretty funny, man.
It was literally like 3 days before.
That's
and
crazy.
I was having a conversation. He's like, I know this guy was a mutual friend of ours, and didn't know each other at the time. And he was like, you got to link up with him. Like, I feel like y'all could collaborate on a bunch of cool stuff. And then I'm just out of the shoot, and he's like, yo, I'm Devin. I do this, and show me, you were telling me what you did. And I was like, that's literally the person we was just talking about. So it was like, I don't know, it's fate. Sometimes you cross paths with people at certain times, whether you were talking about it or not. I look at it as I manifested, a collaboration, just talking to him. You didn't know who I was. I didn't know who you were.
It's lovely, bro.
Absolutely. That's how it happens.
Yeah, that's how it happened, y'all. Very authentic.
Glad we're back here together tonight, shooting another episode of Creatively Connected podcast. So that's who he is. We'll dive kind of into it just off the rip. Monumental career moments. You've obviously had a bunch of them. You've done a lot of work in college athletics. You started that at MTSU?
I did. I started that at MTSU. First, it was just a student journalist.
Got you.
Just working with the student newspaper and getting certain gigs like that. And then it moved up because they continued to see my work and moved up to the official athletics department.
Awesome, man. So you were a journalism major there?
Journalism major with a minor in photography. So it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Went hand in hand.
Did you start out as that when you went into college, or?
Yeah, it it was I went to community college first. So it was business administration at first.
Nice.
And then I transferred over. I was
Picked up a camera.
Yeah. Like they were gonna do journalism.
That's honestly the best route if you're looking for photography. The school I went to, they had a really good journal. I didn't do journalism and stuff. I did broadcasting, but journalism was what I was looking at. But I was like, I don't know. I want to do more video, which you still can.
But that's how it is, though, because
I had no idea what I wanted to do. I wanted the camera.
Broadcasting is journalism.
No, it is absolutely.
It's a form of journalism.
They look at it as opposed to that, but it all of it makes up journalism. You can't just have audio or video or still photography. So you did college athletics, and you still shoot college sports, or?
Yes, I'm definitely trying to get back into athletics this season. You know,
Okay.
the college football just ended, and definitely trying to get back
Dive
for
into it.
sure. Yeah, I'm definitely trying
Absolutely.
to get back.
Well, let's talk some big moments, maybe while you were in school or since you've graduated and moved on and kind of freelanced, full time for yourself.
Yeah.
Um, I know that you have credits from Forbes and Complex,
Yes.
correct? And
Yes.
who else was it?
Forbes Complex. We've worked with the Tennessean. I mean, that's local. We got the Source. Um, and that's about it. Complex. I've made Complex twice, and
Gotcha.
the first time was, of course, with Tay Keith.
Yeah, I was going to say, touch on that a little bit. Tell how you got that opportunity and what it was like to get those kind of publications
Right.
to put your work out there and give you credit
Yeah,
for it.
Rippy. It was crazy. I mean, it's like right place, right time, but it's also everybody's in the same, we're on the same campus. So it's not like a coincidence how it happened. It's like I'm working doing my thing and he's working doing his thing and he's a top artist in the
Yeah.
world, a top producer in the world. And people really are not, too sure. But for me, it was just being in the same building. So he was taking a music class, because that's his major that he
Right.
got. And
Yeah.
me, I was in journalism. Well, those two buildings were in the same, those two, like,
Same
they're the same building.
complex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, every day we kind of passed by each other. But in reality, I kind of just went up to him and was like, yo, I got some new equipment. I would love to work.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, show me some of your work. And I told him, like, I do mostly sports. I'm working with the athletic department right now.
Right.
And boom, from right there, he was like, yo, you taking my pictures. And from there, we started a bond and became friends, outside of just music and taking photos. I actually became his photographer for 2 years.
Hell yeah.
So I've witnessed him. Fun fact, it's a what's that song by Gunna? It was on the One album, but Tay Keith produced it. But I was literally in there watching the chords
While he was doing it,
being laid
creating it.
down.
How is that? What's it like being in a studio with such a well known and high level producer
Yeah.
and artist when he's first creating those songs? People hear it when it comes out, but like whenever you see the seeds be planted for the song, what's it like to be in the room for that?
Man, I'll say it's very exciting. First, I think that you have to create a vibe. Nothing gets started without a certain setting, and I think that the team was in there ready to work. We got the camera guy over here, we got the
Yeah.
team right here. He got his partners, and everybody just was.
It
It was just one,
yeah, it just
and it
felt
was
like
it was
it
it was
flowed.
cool, man. It really was just to sit there and be there for that. Just a good moment for him and me capturing everything on camera.
Yeah.
So it's a real moment.
Man, that's so crazy too. So that was it. That was at MTSU in about
Yeah, that was
2017, 18.
2018, and when we actually linked up, Sicko Mode was number one.
Wow.
Yeah,
So you were probably like
yeah,
you thought that, I mean, not thought, but that is a huge opportunity to work with an artist when it's one thing for them to be a big artist, but literally to be at the top of the game at that exact
yeah. At
moment.
that
Like
exact moment,
you can't be nothing other than just grateful for that opportunity.
yeah, it was
People would kill to
amazing.
be in that position.
Yeah, it was amazing for me. It's just like I said, just a moment that you like right place, right time. Because I say this for as a creator and as an entrepreneur, like you have to take chances. If you don't take chances, it's like, what are you in it for?
Right.
Because you're the one who is revving your engine.
Absolutely.
Nobody's gonna rev your engine for you. Nobody's gonna drive your car for you. You have to go and do that stuff yourself. And just like I said, I didn't even want. It's funny because I didn't even think I was going to college.
Yeah.
You know
What
what
did
I'm
you want
saying?
to do?
Real estate, following
Real
in my
estate.
pop's footsteps.
Got you. Cool.
Wanted to do real estate. Still
Yeah.
want to do real estate, but the journalism is cool lane. I'm
Working
loving it
for
right
you
now.
so
Oh,
far.
I'm loving it.
Real estate's always something too you can do, without a license. You can just kind of do that on the side
Right.
if you wanted to.
Be an investor.
Absolutely. I'm a little under the weather, so if I keep coughing, guys, I'm sorry. I'm not a smoker. I gave that up about a month and a half ago. So, but no, that's awesome, dude. So y'all were at MTSU together, and y'all been working a little bit. You and Tay Keith, that is. Talk about the picture that got you credits for Forbes and Complex and all
Yes.
those big places. we'll put the image in, but everyone will know the picture when they see it. But talk about how that specific moment and that day came about, and what it was like, after everything kind of blew up and you got those credits. That had to have been absolutely insane to comprehend being the photographer of that.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's like any other thing. It's like any other shoot day. You never really know what you're going to get when you go into this day. So we can say, hey, Rippy, November 13th, we're gonna film outside, and then we film outside and it's raining,
Yeah.
And that's kind of how that day was. We didn't even know if we really were gonna shoot that day because it was raining.
Yeah.
But pretty much, man, that picture is very iconic. It's gonna go down in history, as probably one of the best hip hop producers to go down, and for me to take that image, it was really cool because he was doing something that nobody has done.
Nobody does that. No, you don't see a major producer like that and graduate, college and finish that out. Like, that's unheard of.
Yeah, he's not doing that. But I mean, credit to me and you, like, just being creatives. It's like, that's kind of how I went into it. I was like, okay, I got to make this shot. I have to make sure I have my camera.
Yeah.
I had somebody, having a light for me.
Yeah.
Holding a light and stuff like that. But pretty much, I was like, yo, I think this is a good shot right here. Had one foot up and had the money sign. I was like, yeah, just look down right there, boom, boom, snap. And then on the other one, the one that made Forbes, it was everybody at MT does the same sign. And I'm like, I'm not doing this same sign. I was like, we got a better sign. Let's go to this sign.
It's Tay Keith. We got to do something different.
Yeah, man, we're not going out like that.
Ain't your average college student.
Come on now. So that's kind of how it went down. We was like, I got this spot, bro. And boom, we took the picture. And then, like I said, everything was my, motive. Like, yo, let's do it right here. Let's have this. I edited the pictures and everything, so.
Did he have any feedback on it, or was he kind of just cool with whatever?
Hey, I'll tell you this. One thing that he told me, he said, hey, these about to be everywhere, right? I said, oh, yeah. I said, let's rock then, man. Let's rock.
What's that like, having Tay Keith tell you that and damn near knowing that, like, there's no cap in what he's saying, like it's about to blow up? Like,
I mean, well, for me being a guy from Nashville and him being from Memphis, we're always knowing about the Memphis culture and what they're bringing to the table. But I had no idea how big, that, how legendary that he is.
Right.
And it was cool just to work with him. And it's funny, his manager sent me a text. I'm like, yo, what's going on? How would you like your names printed in Forbes? I'm like, shoot, what? It's just you don't get questions
rub your
like
eyes,
that.
make sure you're awake.
You don't get questions like that. But I'll say this: when you're walking in your purpose and you're doing what you want to do, you shouldn't be surprised when you receive text messages like that. You should be expecting stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So it was cool. I was like, shoot, Devin P. Grimes, and don't forget the P.
That's I can't agree more. Like, if you're getting an opportunity or you're in a room with a big person like Tay Keith or excuse me, guys. If you're in a big room with someone like that, like Tay Keith, you're meant to be in there. If you're getting the opportunity and you're stepping foot in there, a lot of people, though, the moment will become too big for them, and it's like no moment that you're in is ever too big for you if you're in it. You were meant to be there. It's whether or not you know how to react accordingly and you can adapt to the environment that you're in. So I couldn't agree with that more. So that's awesome, bro. Congratulations on all of that. That's, getting credited from those major publications, that alone, but then just building that connection with Tay Keith. That's I'm sure something that you'll work again with them. I'm sure down the line in the future. So if that wasn't the big break moment in your early on in your career, doing that and getting those credits, what would you say was, or do you think you've hit that? Obviously we're young, there's still a lot of time, a lot of career to go, but I feel like every people that do what we do early on, they have a moment where they can catch a wave or catch momentum. And what if that wasn't, what was that moment for you?
I'll say for me, that's actually a really good question, by the way. Really good question. Because you really don't kind of think about stuff like that, but I will say for me, it was working with Mookie Betts.
Okay.
Working with Mookie Betts. He had launched his AAU team back in 2020.
Nice.
Or 2019. No, 2021. One of them years. We'll fact check that.
They were cold too. Weren't they?
Yeah, that's when he's with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about the AAU team?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
the AAU team they're bad.
Is that what you did
They're
work with them
fire.
for? Was that?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I was pretty much doing it was a Jordan Mookie Betts shoot, but it was for a team Mookie, but it was highlighting his AAU team, and I was the one that was on set taking the still photos.
Gotcha.
But I think for me, that probably is one of I feel like my breakthrough moments. One, because I looked up to Mookie Betts, and I still do look up to Mookie, and just being in the same room with him and just the demeanor that he has as being a world champion and an MVP is just crazy. And he's from Nashville.
He's a legend. I didn't realize. Is he from Nashville?
He's from Nashville, Tennessee.
Wow. I didn't know that.
That's why he's came back here.
Special, man. That's cool, dude.
So that's probably my breakout moment working with him.
Just one of those moments that everything kind of clicks for you.
I mean, it was one of them ones that entrepreneurs know this. You stay ready.
Yeah.
You had to stay ready. If I call you and I don't have my camera right now. I gotta let somebody else borrow it. Well, sorry, we're gonna call the next person. You know, in this business, people have to stay ready because if you're ready, you ain't gotta get ready.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And
there's 100 other people doing what we do, and they can get that call just as easily as we did.
And pretty much his the person that was over the creative, that over the set shoot that day, called me and was like, "This is last second. I'm sorry, but tomorrow we have to film this." Dude, it was freezing out there. It was snowing. I mean, we still ran with the shoot. It's crazy, but it's a big moment.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I feel like everyone has that, one of those moments. So it's always cool to hear other people's like when it really clicked within themselves that okay, I'm meant to be here. I'm meant to do this, man. And it's only up from here.
Can't take it for granted.
That's awesome, dude. Another big client that you worked with and continue to work with, LahGriddy. What's his real name? Can we put that out?
Yeah, we can put the real name out. His name is Alan Davis.
Gotcha, Alan Davis.
Yeah.
Y'all know him as LahGriddy.
Yeah.
The inventor of the gritty dance. Tell us just a little bit about how you got linked up with him originally, and kind of the work that you do for him now on a day-to-day basis, or how y'all kind of collaborate together.
Yeah. That story is very, very touching. If you are, like I said, in the creative world, just gotta understand, man, that it's always you gotta be ready. But
right place, right time.
I'm telling you, Rippy. So for me, I had just got my gig with the Titans, so I was in my first contract year with the Titans, and they had me on as their cheerleading photographer. So I was doing pictures of the cheerleaders, following them around.
It's not the worst gig.
Not the worst. Following T-Rack around. Yeah. T-Rack was cool. He's talking me through the mask, like, hey, what other pictures you need? So that was pretty cool. But that right there is how it happened. I was working with the Titans. A guy named Christian Fulton, who is still on the team now, went to LSU, where the gritty originated from,
right,
in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And they were like, yo, we got this guy, he got this dance. They're looking for a cameraman. I heard you're the guy. So word of mouth in the city, just who I was, and great guy. I don't do anything. I'm not burning any bridges. It's business. So that's how the call happened. Worked with Gritty. I have the first vlog that we did when I first met him is still up on YouTube, and that's how it happened. He was like, yo, you're gonna be my cameraman. And from there, we've been working for 3 years. And our latest thing that we just did is we went up to Minnesota because new season, so we added some new moves to the gritty.
Okay.
So pretty much working with him is just it's fun. It's fun. Anybody who loves being in atmospheres as far as like sports, any sports, I'm talking about from baseball on to hockey, so it's cool.
The gritty is a universal dance move, so any sport is you see players doing that.
I mean, they just did it last night in the national championship.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, they just did it in the Natty. So
man, everybody, even you professional, college, little kids, everybody's hitting the gritty.
Oh my goodness. Everybody.
That's cool, man. So you started working with him kind of as the dance was blowing up, or was it after it already had traction?
Yeah, definitely didn't have any traction at all.
Really?
I mean, it had traction, of course, just in the South.
Sure.
But I don't think people in California or Texas really knew, what the gritty was.
Yeah.
But yeah, that right there was we did a video and he did the gritty challenge. So he was like, yo, what's going on? This is gritty. I'm challenging John Morant. I'm challenging Patrick Mahomes.
Oh yeah, I
So
seen that
it
one.
did his
Yeah.
whole
Bunch of
challenge.
families.
Yeah, so I'm the one that filmed that, and yeah, it definitely was on the rise.
Yeah, so you got to go be around all of those people.
Yes.
While they were doing the
Yeah,
challenges.
meeting Ja was pretty cool. Ja's cool.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to John Morant, man.
Man, I can't believe he got hurt right after
I know.
coming back. I hate
I know.
That's off topic, but no, I'm sure working with him, there's no telling all of the different celebrities and people that you got to work with and just be in the same room, with, and that kind of goes back to, you look around, you're like, oh, and there's John Moran, there's Patrick Mahomes, but it's like you belong. You're in that room. You wouldn't be there if you weren't supposed to be in that room with those individuals.
And then after a while, you kind of, it becomes a norm. You wake up and brush your teeth and wash your face just how everybody else does. So
people always hold you to a different standard when you work with higher level people. But it's like, at the end of the day, I'm a normal person, probably a little less normal than you. So it's like,
we're probably both wearing Nike socks.
Facts. They might be on the wrong foot too.
You know what I'm saying? So
well, no, that's cool, man. Like I said, I've been a huge fan of the dance for a while. I always hit it. If you go through my behind the scenes video, I always hit it with the camera and it's whack. But I'm sure that y'all will continue to do great work.
Hey, viewers, he might hit it. I don't know. I can't promise.
I might hit it to close out the show. We'll see. I don't know if they want to see that though. But all right, so between through all of that and working with big clients like that and traveling and really taking an investment on Griddy, because he wasn't super popping at that point. How is it to take an investment on a client, or for my instance, I do that with artists a lot. You don't know if they're on the rise or not. How is it to take an investment on a client and building that relationship to continuously work throughout the future, not knowing whether they're gonna bring you traction as well, and what the trajectory is of that.
Right. No. That's another good question. Rippy is on it tonight, y'all. Goodness.
Laser focus, baby.
He's on it. But personally, I was in sports, so it didn't really matter to me. I wasn't really trying to, if he, does good or not, or if this is going to be successful. I was just happy to be making deals with sport teams.
Absolutely.
And just being able to go to a soccer field or being able to go to a baseball field. It was just, I'm in my atmosphere.
Yeah.
So I think over time, as far as relationships grow, friendships grow, and now it's like we're brothers. We don't even think about that. We're always thinking about the next thing we're gonna do.
Yeah, you're just more so in the moment, and whatever accolades or success comes with it.
It just comes with it.
Kind of happens by accident. It's
like here recently when we did the new Griddy moves, I didn't think. I mean, we called the Vikings because we wanted it on the Vikings platform.
Yeah.
That's why we called the Vikings. We didn't want it to just be Griddy. I mean,
sure.
He has over 1 million followings, but it's still like, it's different if the NFL is the one posting it. So
absolutely.
NFL posted it, and then we're sitting there driving back, and I'm like, oh man, Overtime just posted it. Then we're like, oh, NFL just posted it. So
ain't that crazy? Like, you're not even too far removed from the stadium, and you just check it on your phone. And you're like, damn, that's my work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Back in the day, you'd have to go home and upload everything and wait for it to come out in the newspapers. You know that the following Monday. So that's just
that's time, man.
You really can blow up like that. I mean, obviously you're out there with a big entity, and y'all knew y'all were gonna have publicity, but to see a Overtime post it on your way home from the game, like that's sick.
And I'll say this: the Vikings posted every single move on TikTok, and they all have over 500 plays. So that just lets you know the power.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of the dance.
Power of the dance and social media, because that's how the dance originated.
Yeah, that's how it originated. So. TikTok, man, y'all better get y'all TikTok. I hate to say it, I don't even like TikTok. I have like 3 videos on TikTok. I need to up it.
It's crucial in today's time. I just be posting a lot of random stuff, trying to get viewers in, man. The algorithm, you're always fighting the algorithm. So, well, cool. So we'll shift gears a little bit.
Okay.
What kind of advice would you give to anyone that is looking to pursue photography full time and work with various clients in different realms like yourself? You do sports, portraits, you do graduate. We hadn't touched on that, but you do graduations
Yes.
as well, which goes with portraits. So, what kind of advice would you give to an aspiring photographer?
I would say trust yourself. That's the advice I have. Trust yourself. A lot of times we think we're not good enough or we're gonna fail. You gotta trust yourself. So that's the advice I have. If you're a young creator, young entrepreneur trying to get into photography or trying to get into the creative space of filming or graphic design, you have to trust yourself. If your graphic sucks, it probably doesn't suck. Nobody probably hasn't even seen it. Nobody probably has even seen the font that you've used. Your vision is your vision. So just trust yourself. If you've seen it before in your dreams or with your eyes closed, or something is telling you, I'm going to use this font. Something is telling me.
Use the damn font.
You know what I'm saying? Use the font. Rippy, something is telling me I need to stand over here to get this shot.
Yeah.
Just got to trust yourself.
A lot of people overthink it too. Like when they're out, in the moment, if they're shooting, and it's like, when you're doing sports or a concert, you don't have time to sit and back and second guess or not trust yourself. You just go with it and get it, and really it's not going to make that much of a difference if you sit back and ponder on it or go do it. You just have to do it. Either way, you have to do it. Otherwise you'll sit back and miss an opportunity or miss a moment to get the shot.
And it's so funny. I mean, me and my guy Vic right here, we talk all the time as far as like all of the things. It's like the what ifs. And it's 2024, it's a new year, and you're still going to have what ifs. It's fine. But always. Don't dwell on the what ifs. If you feel like that was your moment and you missed it, I promise you another one will come. But you need to learn from the last moment.
Absolutely.
And go ahead and step foot. You got to put that foot out there, trust yourself. Don't think, well, are they going to like my pictures? Are they going to, you're good.
Who cares?
You're good.
If they don't,
somebody else will. This is a big market.
And if they don't, then you better like them. And if you're the only one that likes it, then you're making the art for yourself at the end of the day. So I try not to get caught up in likes. I mean, it's the name of the game. In today's time, it's like, how many likes did I get? How many likes did I get? Yeah, but it's like, if you put good stuff out there and good content through and through, it's gonna reach the people and the audience and the numbers that it's supposed to. So
because you'll have 30K views and 900 likes.
Yeah, facts. Facts.
So they're watching.
Always watching.
Audience is watching.
What has been the biggest challenge with being a full-time freelancer?
People respecting you, honestly.
Okay.
It's a very nitpick type of industry, man. When you're doing it by yourself, they'll respect, a higher up, I guess. But when they know that Rippy is the only person that runs this, they think that they can pull you this way. So that's kind of the thing that is the hardest, just people respecting you. I mean, sometimes I lowball myself and people think that that's too high. And I'm like, I gave them a very low number and they're telling me that that's too high for them.
Right.
So
I feel like that's a point in time. Like I always hear, there's a market for everybody, and where someone may say your prices are too high, there's a client that's going to be a low price for them. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to find your market. And obviously you'll never stay in the same market. You'll work with some people whose budgets, a little less affordable than others, but just being proactive with that, working with people, when you can, but you can't lowball yourself, way too much.
And that's kind of how I am. I'm in the middle person. I'm not over here. I'm not over there. Like I see what, what I'm saying? I'm trying to see the big picture. So if you're calling my phone and you're wanting me to work and help you out, I will help. Now, if it gets to the point where I'm like, how am I going to help you? You're not even trying to help me.
Right.
You're trying to use me.
Yeah.
Then
it has to be
it has to be a balance. And sometimes in the industry and working and being an entrepreneur, you sometimes don't have that. But like you said, there's going to be somebody else along the line. You don't have to always lowball yourself. And sometimes, it's the industry, bro. Like, I sometimes find myself lowballing myself a lot. Because why? We want a gig. I want to pick up this camera and work. I don't want to just sit here and collect dust. Like, I want to work. I love filming.
Yeah.
But I'm not about to film you for 5 hours and you give me $100.
Facts.
I'm just not doing that.
Facts. It's you got to pick and choose your battles, which ones are worth going to. Like you said, some days work might be slow and someone offers you a little less, and it's like, okay, well, I'd rather take that than not make anything today. But always definitely make sure that price is not way below your your market
Yeah.
price, because then it gets to the point that it's like, okay, you're not getting paid sufficiently for the
And
services that you're doing.
and I will say the market has, this, but from 20, when did you start?
Man, 2017,
Okay.
18. Yeah, I'm young. I'm early into it.
Yeah.
You was shooting Tay Keith, man. I was just picking up. I was just picking up a camera damn near.
Well, I started in 2016, so I mean,
Really?
we're right there.
Yeah. Okay. About
Yeah,
the
we're
same.
right there. But I was saying that to say, like,
I'm
from
a youngin, man.
from
People-
2020, Rippy, on to like where we are now. Now everybody thinks that they're a cameraman, which is fine.
Sure.
But the market gets adjusted, because if they hear Rippy's charging what, I don't know, I'm just naming out a
Yeah.
number. Rippy charged me 500, but Rippy's been in the game for 8 years.
Sure.
Okay. And then they find me, and I just started out, and I'm only gonna give them, y'all could just give me $75.
Right. Right.
They're gonna come to me, but that's messing up the entire market.
Absolutely.
It messes up the entire market. So
Messing up the market, and then people are getting less quality and production. They're kind of just getting whatever,
Yeah.
and it's like people like that. You can. That's kind of what I'm in the process of doing, is growing my team right now and
That's
building
beautiful.
multiple people on the team that can go out and do stuff and film and edit. That way I don't always have to, because it gets to a point, you get older and older, it's like you don't always want to have to be chasing the gig. You want it to operate as a business, because it is a business at the end of the day. It's our full-time business.
Our full-time.
There's no other business involved. So building a team's, that's definitely huge as you progress, through it. So how do you stay motivated and inspired, with your work?
I'll say my family, and then the following that I have created. It obviously is tough, but people around me have helped me so much. Like my aunt has helped me so much, as far as giving me gifts for lenses, or buying me a camera, certain stuff like that, where it's like, those are the ones that are like my biggest, like, I just want to do it for them. I want to continue to do what I'm doing for them. And then I don't have any kids of my own, but my brother has so many nieces and nephews, and I just want, they're my kids pretty much. So
yes, absolutely.
Pave
the way for them.
Yeah, just paving the way for them. I let my little nephew hold the camera, and they take a picture and stuff like that. So
that's cool, man. Those will be like, always get pictures of them doing that, 15, 20 years from now, when they're our age and growing. That'll be, who knows if they turn out to be in the industry. That'll be an IG post for them 20 years from now.
I hope they're the ones that's making the deals.
Absolutely.
That'd be cool.
Absolutely. No, family's huge. I'd say that's probably one of my biggest, motivators, is putting on for the people that, have put on for you all your life. You said that your aunt or someone in your family gave you a camera. My first camera was a Christmas gift when I was a freshman in college, and it was from my parents. It was a Canon Rebel T6i or T5i.
That's still a good camera.
Yeah, it is, man. I still recommend it to anyone who messages.
Just because it's not over
DMs
$1,000 on the market does not mean it's a bad camera.
I shot weddings. I shot D1 college football with it.
Wow.
And then I made the move to Sony, one that's above.
You got the A7R?
A7 II. That
A7
one.
II,
Yeah,
okay.
That's my B-roll and photo cam, and then I shoot on the Black Magic, which I don't have that out. But
nice.
But yeah, I mean, anytime you get a lens, a gift, lens covers, lens caps, whatever, I mean, it's always appreciated from family and friends. So if you're trying to donate, me or Devin some camera gear, feel free to shoot us a DM. So. All right. What tips can you offer to listeners who are seeking, maybe they're lacking in motivation right now to be creative, or maybe they have all the motivation in the world, but what tips can you give to other creatives to either get that, motivation, or, try to find it if it's completely lost?
Yeah. The cliche answer is to keep shooting, but for me, the answer that I would give people is keep networking. You got to keep meeting new people.
Yeah.
That's all it's really about. That's the name of the game. Just meeting new people, building new connections, and then building on the connections that you already have.
Absolutely. Yeah. You could go out and shoot 100 different things and not, find any spark of motivation from that, but you go out, have a conversation with, someone out in the city or at a concert, whatever, and just it can all come back to you and energy can start flowing. And I would definitely say networking is obviously it's critical, but to get energy flowing and just get someone else's take on something in perspective.
And I was gonna say, I guess we could say communication. You gotta know how to communicate. And I don't really like the term sell yourself. I know people use that a lot. When you're applying for a job, they always say when you're writing your cover letter, you got to know how to sell yourself. Okay. Whatever that is. You got to know how to talk to
Whatever
people.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, just you got to know how to talk to people. Hey, my name is Devin. This is Rippy. We do camera work and you got to know, you got to be confident about what you're doing. Don't be, shy and laid back about it. If you want it, go get it. Be aggressive.
Yeah.
And
you can't convince someone that you're worthy of working for them if you don't believe it, yourself. So confidence, it's another cliche thing, but it really is key. Like, you have to believe in yourself before you convince anyone else, any potential client, that you're worthy of the position. So
I agree.
All right, well, we're gonna try to come to a close here. Talk about plans and goals for this new year. We're in just finished up the first week, I guess.
So you can still say Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year.
So just touch on some plans and some of your goals for 2024 and what's headed your way.
I'll say that before we talk about 2024, I'll talk about how rough 2023 ended as far as business. I was supposed to launch a new company, and I still have the rights to the name, so I don't mind saying it. But ICAM. So hopefully that's one of my big goals this year is
ICAM.
ICAM. Yeah, 2 M's.
Gotcha.
2 M's.
Yep. Be on the lookout for that.
Yep. And that really is one of my biggest goals this year is to get that off the ground. I really want to get back into my whole thing of journalism and not just base myself on photography. Gotcha. So we mentioned broadcasting earlier.
Yeah.
And I've done radio a couple times. I like doing radio. It just kind of, for me, it's just being the best that I can be. Like, I feel like I kind of let myself, get a little in the motion. You know how the wave is, man. You kind of just find yourself flowing in the wave. You get lost in the sauce sometimes. But this year, I really need to hone in back on what got me to greatness.
Yeah, absolutely. Our most recent episode is titled Ride the Wave, and it's just talking about how life is it's a constant wave. And I've never been a surfer before, never surfed in my life, but I correlate it with that because, a lot of times you see the surfer and they'll go in the wave and you don't see them for a minute and they'll just pop out the end. And that's so much like life. Like sometimes you get knocked down and you're not out about, you're not outside, people don't see you, you might not have gigs booked up, but you ride that wave out and don't completely go off your track and you'll be right back on course in no time.
Yes.
So
2023
was a lot for a lot of people,
goodness.
man. It was. I feel like it was like an awakening year for many people. In 2024, I'm in the same boat. It was 2023 was rough. 2024, we're going up.
Yeah, we're going up.
Sky's the limit, man.
Yeah, I mean, and then I can't say the brand names, but I definitely have some endorsement deals that I'm trying to lock in. So that's going to be big. Continually working, probably do some more gigs with trying to get, hockey gigs more.
Yeah.
Baseball be coming back around. So just staying busy in the sports world, man. That's my passion, bro. I love sports and I love doing what I do and being able to capture those moments for athletes, and not only athletes, but for people around as far as the cheerleaders and
absolutely
coaches and
there's
stuff.
so much that goes into it that gets left out when it comes to the coverage.
Dude,
I feel like NFL does a good job of that now, like with their actual broadcast. Like they're always like, the other day was like a 8K shot of these fans cheering. I'm like, that's so unnecessary for Joe Schmo in the crowd to get that kind of coverage. But it's like they're showing more of the atmosphere, and that's just, I don't know, that's dope to me. I watch games like that. I don't ever watch them just watch them.
Are you referring to the Colts Texans game?
I think it was, maybe.
Yeah, I'll say, because I was watching that too, but on that specific play, they were literally like, every fan was like this.
Really?
Yeah, they were
it
like
might
covering
not have been.
it.
I don't remember.
It was funny though, man. I mean, not funny. But you know, it was just like you said, it was crazy to just see
Yeah.
like they're capturing everything now.
Absolutely, fully covered. So you prefer to shoot sports?
Yeah,
Other more?
I'm sports all the way, just because I like creating my own shots. You know, when you're doing portraits and stuff, it's always a replica of what they're trying to create.
Sure.
So they're like, I saw this, I want this. Then if I give them this, well, this isn't this, and you know, it's
Go back into the drawing board.
yeah. So sports, you know, boom. I didn't tell this guy to do this one hand catch on top of this
Right.
dude's head.
This is
I just caught it.
And go back to what you were saying earlier. You were just in that one moment, you know. So maybe you were on the opposite end of the field, but with the telephoto, or, you know, the zoom lens, you're right there, and you're in the best angle for it. You
Got
know?
the best angle. Yeah, those candid shots are the best for me.
Those are my favorite too, man. Well, let the people know where they can follow you, social medias.
Yes, on Instagram you can find me at DPG Time Stopper, and then on Twitter you can find me at DPG Digital.
Go follow the man.
Yes.
Has already taken over the game. Very talented photographer and creative here in the city. Before we go, anything else you want to say to the listeners, touch on?
Shout out to the podcast. Rippy, you're doing your thing. I can't wait to work with you this year, man, and
Sure.
looking forward to the success that you're going to have on this.
I appreciate that, bro. A lot to come for me and this guy right here. We appreciate y'all joining us for episode 4 of the podcast. If you're interested in getting a digital business card, you can put it on the back of your phone and just tap any other phone or device, and all of your links will pop up there. You can get one. The link will be in the description, and you can use coupon code Chris Rippey in all caps and get 20% off. So go get that. I use mine all the time. We're in 2024. You don't need actual paper business cards. Those are dead. He's throwing his away as soon as he walks
hand
out.
mine out.
I'm making him throw them away, and he's grabbing this today. So, but go get yours. We appreciate you joining. And as I promised, that's all for the episode today.
Hey. Yeah.